And now we welcome to Business Life 360 Dr. Leslie Gordon, who is a co-founder and volunteer medical director for the Progeria Research Foundation. She is the principal investigator for the ongoing PRF programs and is an investigator on the Progeria clinical treatment trials at Boston Children's Hospital and professor of pediatrics at Hasbro Children's Hospital in Providence, Rhode Island. Welcome, Dr. Gordon. It is a true pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Kristi. I appreciate it.
Let's start by you giving us an understanding of your organization's mission.
Well, thank you. Yes, we founded, my husband, my sister, and I, and our colleagues and friends founded the Progeria Research Foundation after my son Sam was diagnosed with progeria. That was back in 1999 that it was founded. And at that time, there was pretty much nothing known about this ultra rare disease. So our goals were very simple, very important: to discover the cause, treatments, and cure for progeria. We've discovered the cause. We have our first ever treatment that was just approved, in part because of Kaylee, and we're on to the cure.
Mm-hmm. And this personal connection you have, we'd like to hear a little bit more about Sam, please. We'd like to know about your son.
Oh, thank you for asking. Well, this is Sam right here. See him right in the back, right next to me. Sam was just a fabulous kid. And what can I say? Like all of the children with progeria, he had an amazing personality, a lot of courage. And actually he did a TEDx talk that people might want to tune into, because has, I think, over 90 million views now. So if you want to look him up, he's got quite a talk and quite a personality.
Mm-hmm. He sounds truly amazing. I'm sure he was. And Kaylee mentioned when she was here that she has been in clinical trials since she was 4 years old, and that was through the Progeria Research Foundation. And now she's 19 years old. So I'm curious to know what advancements and progress has been made in progeria since she was first diagnosed and when she was in those initial clinical trials.
Oh, yeah. She's an amazing, well, now young woman, but she was always an amazing kid. We initiated the very first clinical treatment trial for progeria ever, and that was at Boston Children's Hospital. That started in 2007. But before that, we needed to discover the genetic cause of progeria so that we could understand the disease enough to discover a potential treatment, and start a trial. So we were really starting from scratch, and Kaylee was one of the first kids, and her family was one of the first families to step forward and participate in those trials, which isn't easy. It takes a lot of courage to fly to Boston, to meet physicians that at least at first you don't know, to undergo lots of tests, and to take a trial drug, which is a drug that will have side effects, but you don't know if it's going to be effective. And fortunately, the drug that we initiated, called lonafarnib, is effective as a treatment. It's not a cure, but it gives the children an extra several years of life, which every day is a gift.
And you've mentioned this is a genetic disease, but tell us how the symptoms of progeria and those with progeria, kind of how those symptoms manifest themselves.
Yep, it's a great question, because progeria is a genetic disease, and part of aging and cardiovascular disease has genetic components to it. And those components are kind of a mystery, a black box. What are the genes that influence aging in general? Well, progeria is an exaggeration, a disease caused by a mutation in a gene called lamin A that produces a toxic protein called progerin. And children with progeria produce a lot of progerin, and their cells don't like it at all, and it causes cell death and premature aging in those cells.
So now I spoke with Kaylee about how she truly has impacted PRF's groundbreaking advancements, and of course she's very humble about that. We talked about the open heart surgery and the aortic stenosis surgery that she had. Tell us more about this surgery.
That's right. She was amazing. Her family is amazing. And the surgery that was performed was first ever. And look what happened. What we have found is, with this first treatment, the children with progeria who previously, without the treatment, were living on average to about 14 and a half years of age before they passed away from the heart disease, are living longer, at least a couple of years, 2.5, 3, perhaps even 4 years longer, which is a big percentage of their life. I know it's not good enough, of course, for any of us, but as they are living longer into their 20s even, what we found surfaces as the element that is critical to their survival in the end is this thing called aortic stenosis. And it's the same thing that affects people that are aging with heart disease called atherosclerosis. A blood vessel, a major artery, the aorta that supplies the heart, gets blocked. And it puts a big stress on the heart, and eventually the heart fails. And as these children are getting into their older ages, we see that this is the pivotal component. And so that's what we had to go after and really address for Kaylee. So we have this group of world experts in this ultra rare disease at Boston Children's Hospital. The cardiologists recognized what was happening, pulled in the cardiac surgeons from both Boston Children's and Brigham and Women's, an adult hospital that works with aging people, and a pediatrics hospital, to create a 3D image of what was going on in the chest and chest cavity of Kaylee and perform this groundbreaking surgery.
It is unbelievable what has happened, and she is living a wonderful life. Her energy is amazing when we talked with her. So we know there are so many needs as we go forward with you and the research. And Dr. Gordon, we just want to say thank you for all that you've done to make a difference in this world. It has been a true honor to talk with you about this life-saving mission that you are on, to tirelessly work to extend the lives of those with progeria. So thank you so much for all you're doing and for being here on Business Life 360.
We have a long way to go and more treatments and the cure to find. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.